And now back to Bobby Likis Car Clinic and your host, Bobby Likis.
Good morning, Car Clinic affiliates. Your Car Clinic minutes for the week of December 10th, 2018 are about to head your way. So go ahead and press the record button. As always, thank you for broadcasting and listening to Bobby Likis Car Clinic. Have a great weekend.
Hi, I'm Bobby Likis with today's Car Clinic Minute. Life in a fishbowl. No, not in an aquarium. The behaviors of these specimens were observed while they were driving their cars. When we come back, I'll tell you what you've been doing on the road.
O'Reilly. When your battery goes dead, everything can come to a stop. Don't take a chance on getting stranded. Stop by O'Reilly Auto Parts and get your battery tested free of charge. If your battery does need to be replaced, O'Reilly Auto Parts can help you find the exact Superstart battery that fits your car or truck at a guaranteed low price. O'Reilly Auto Parts, better prices every day.
O'Reilly Auto Parts.
Stretch limos with tinted windows aside. What we do while driving is on display for everyone to see. And according to an Exxon poll of 1,000 drivers, our top 3 favorite activities are: 1 in 5 of us flirt with other drivers. Another 40% actually reach out and touch someone with our cell phones. And the number 1 private activity that 70% of us perform for public view is the ever-popular eating. Now that gives dining and dashing a whole new meaning. I'm Bobby Likis. Like us, you'll love us. Hi, I'm Bobby Likis with another Car Clinic Minute. A great service shop, as hard to find as truth, love, and the perfect hamburger. But when we come back, I'll tell you what my customers say they look for in an auto repair and maintenance center.
O'Reilly.
When your battery goes dead, everything can come to a stop. Don't take a chance on getting stranded. Stop by O'Reilly Auto Parts and get your battery tested free of charge. If your battery does need to be replaced, O'Reilly Auto Parts can help you find the exact Superstart battery that fits your car or truck at a guaranteed low price. O'Reilly Auto Parts, better prices every day.
O'Reilly Auto Parts.
Monday through Friday, as you're listening to Car Clinic Minute, I'm interacting with customers in my full-service maintenance and repair center. Here's what they say keeps them coming back, some for 28 years. I call the first the grandmother principle: trust, honesty, and good reputation. Second, courteous staff with can-do attitudes. Third, communication, pros that really listen. Fourth, appearance, clean grounds, and neatly dressed staff. And 5, professional workmanship and follow-up. How do these compare with what you want in a service center? I'm Bobby Likis. Like us, you'll love us. Hi, I'm Bobby Likis with today's Car Clinic Minute. Igpe Atenlay is a dialect designed to confuse. But if Pig Latin is easier to understand than the language spoken when buying a used car, I'll help translate the double talk when we come back.
O'Reilly.
When your battery goes dead, everything can come to a stop. Don't take a chance on getting stranded. Stop by O'Reilly Auto Parts and get your battery tested free of charge. If your battery does need to be replaced, O'Reilly Auto Parts can help you find the exact Superstart battery that fits your car or truck at a guaranteed low price. O'Reilly Auto Parts, better prices every day.
O'Reilly Auto Parts.
Need a quick course in Greek to buy a used car? Don't be confused, because I'm going to translate for you. Program vehicles are those that were allotted by car manufacturers to their executives. Off-lease vehicles are offered for sale by dealers at the expiration of a lease. And pre-owned or used vehicles are simply those that are traded in. One more translation? Here's how you say good deal. pre-purchase inspection. Have your technician give your prospective vehicle a thorough check before you sign on the dotted line. I'm Bobby Likis. Like us, you'll love us. Hi, I'm Bobby Likis with another Car Clinic Minute. Wind changes directions, you crash your kite. Boss changes directions, you miss the deadline. But when we come back, I'll tell you how your car feels when you pull a sudden change.
O'Reilly.
When your battery goes dead, everything can come to a stop. Don't take a chance on getting stranded. Stop by O'Reilly Auto Parts and get your battery tested free of charge. If your battery does need to be replaced, O'Reilly Auto Parts can help you find the exact Superstart battery that fits your car or truck at a guaranteed low price. O'Reilly Auto Parts, better prices every day.
O'Reilly Auto Parts.
Quick changes are good for Cher's concerts, but some things are better eased into, like changing directions in your car. Confession time. While parking, ever shifted into reverse while your car was still moving forward? Oh, that hurts. It's like Curtis Martin racing downfield and having his direction suddenly changed by Derek Brooks. Yep, just like our bodies, transmissions suffer a jolt when abruptly switched from drive to reverse. So follow the lead of a kinder, gentler NFL. Bring your car to a full stop before changing directions. I'm Bobby Likis. Like us, you'll love us. Hi, I'm Bobby Likis with today's Car Clinic Minute. Aviator Amelia Earhart, astronaut Sally Ride, and shuttle commander Eileen Collins are women who made transportation history in the air. When I come back, I'll tell you about their grounded sisters.
O'Reilly.
When your battery goes dead, everything can come to a stop. Don't take a chance on getting stranded. Stop by O'Reilly Auto Parts and get your battery tested free of charge. If your battery does need to be replaced, O'Reilly Auto Parts can help you find the exact Superstart battery that fits your car or truck at a guaranteed low price. O'Reilly Auto Parts, better prices every day.
O'Reilly Auto Parts.
Girl power is nothing new. Women have been making car history since the turn of the century. The first public chauffeuse, or woman driver, was Miss Daisy Post, a member of the Vanderbilt family. The holder of driver's license 322 was 13-year-old Jeanette Lindstrom, who claimed she'd already been driving 2 years. And move over, Thelma and Louise. Mrs. Alice Ramsey and 3 women friends blazed the cross-country trail in 1909, declaring their biggest problem was not having enough luggage room. I'm Bobby Likis. Like us, you'll love us.
Bobby Likis Car Clinic begins at 6 minutes after the hour. Bobby Likis Car Clinic begins at 6 minutes after the hour. Bobby Likis Car Clinic begins at 6 minutes after the hour. Bobby Likis Car Clinic begins at 6 minutes after the hour. Bobby Likis Car Clinic begins at 6 minutes after the hour. Countdown to 3-minute mark. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, mark. Bobby Likis Car Clinic begins at 6 minutes after the hour. Bobby Likis Car Clinic begins at 6 minutes after the hour. Bobby Likis Car Clinic begins at 6 minutes after the hour. Countdown to 1-minute mark. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, mark. Countdown to 30-second mark. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, mark. Count down to 10-second mark. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, mark. Welcome to Bobby Likis Car Clinic. If you have a car question for Bobby, call now at 1-800-264-5454, toll free from anywhere in America. And now, here's your host, Bobby Likis.
And a special welcome to today's broadcast. As always, we come to you from the center of the automotive universe, which is a really neat place to be on Saturday mornings from 10 till noon. That's where you'll find me and our great crew. And Fabio is working the knobs and making sure that the volumes are okay, or they're high or low, or it depends on how he feels. I hope he feels good. How you feel this morning, Fabio?
Pretty good.
Pretty good. Okay, great. Yeah, and Miss Hannah is taking the calls. 888 Car Clinic is the number, as well as the 800 number, but 888-227-2546. And Jonathan's doing whatever it is that Jonathan does, and he does a great job. Bobby Likis Car Clinic is brought to you in part this morning by K-Seal, the one-step permanent multi-purpose system for coolant leak repair, including, folks, head gaskets, engine blocks, water pumps, and radiators. Really? Really. You can learn more at kseal.com. So here's the agenda this morning. We're going to take you on a quick trip to Daytona Beach, right smack dab in the Daytona International Speedway, where you're not going to believe this. I'm not going to tell you what's going to happen because Terry Sabiston, Motorsports Director of WNDB, our Car Clinic affiliate there, is going to tell us all about it when he comes back. Or when I come back. We're going to have Terry and then Frank from Florida with a Mercedes. Don't go away. Why CarStar? Today's vehicles offer comforts and conveniences never imagined 20 years ago. Backup cameras, entertainment systems, start-stop technology, the list goes on. These technologies help avoid accidents. But what happens after a crash? Growth in electronic vehicle content adds to the collision repair cost and complexity. Damage a side view mirror or paint a bumper, and you may change the trajectory of that sensor. Adaptive headlights are another example. They actually turn the corner with you as you're turning the corner. The price for these headlights can reach $2,000. Now, more than ever, it's important to follow automaker guidelines for vehicle repairs. Don't compromise vehicle safety. CarStar is North America's largest multi-shop operator of independently owned repair facilities. CarStar delivers consistently high-quality repairs and the industry's highest customer satisfaction ratings. At CarStar, they don't just repair cars, they repair your car. Learn more at carstar.com. Cooling systems take a beating when it gets cold. We recently had a customer come in with a 3.5 Chrysler engine with a cracked head. Parts and labor totaled just under $3,000. We suggested K-Seal, and it worked. You've heard me talk about K-Seal before. It's a simple pour-in solution added directly to the radiator when cool. You then run the engine till the leak is stopped. K-Seal isn't just any stop leak. It's a certified leak repair and preventative formula designed and tested to stop cooling system leaks. K-Seal features a ceramic technology which makes it non-clogging but highly effective. Engine temps range from -20 to 220 above in just minutes. It's during these times that cracked blocks and heads fail. We've had customers who were ready to scrap their vehicles, then tried K-Seal and were able to continue driving their automobiles. Log on to K-Seal for more information, including videos and the many different applications. Don't just seal it, K-Seal it. That's kseal.com.
You're listening to Bobby Likis Car Clinic.
Rosie Outfitters, I'm Tina. How can I help you?
I'd like to place an order.
Great. Which item?
The cotton roll neck sweater, large.
Okay. Periwinkle, Loden, or caramel?
The caramel, please.
The what?
I'd like it in caramel.
Oh, the caramel?
Yeah, that's what I said, Tina.
Actually, you said caramel when it's pronounced caramel.
Can't we just call it yellow?
No.
Everyone knows the best part of a Milky Way. They just don't know how to say it. After all, it's our caramel.
It's caramel.
Ugh, that makes a Milky Way great.
You start my morning, you stir in my soul, you warm my heart, make me feel whole. Your aroma calls me, starts my morning, happy morning. Your name is Folgers Mountain Grown. Now you're here, your aroma helps me wake, and the day is mine to take. The best part of waking up is Folgers in your cup.
And now back to Bobby Likis Car Clinic and your host, Bobby Likis.
Okay, let's get started. We've got a great, at least the first half segment for you, the first half of the program, which is the first hour. But please do write this number down and get in early so that we won't have to rush toward the end of the segment or the end of the hour. 888 Car Clinic, folks. 888-227-2546. Okay, so as I said, we're going to go to Daytona. So let's take a trip to Daytona through Car Clinic Network. And our good friend and professional sports, in every sense of the word, and today a little twist, I think. So we want to welcome from the Daytona International Speedway, Terry Sabiston, the Motorsports Director for our Car Clinic affiliate, WNDB 1150 AM there along the Daytona Beach, kind of a second home for me. Terry, good morning. Welcome in.
Welcome to Daytona International Speedway live here for racing coverage? Okay, it is.
But wait. Okay, all right. Wait. So who gets this? Do you get this? I guess I see, since it's your gig. Well, it's my gig, but since it's your gig, I'm going to give. And folks, you think we were talking about cars? Not. So Terry,
wait
I'll turn to my.
We got stage racing going on. We're just like any other. Our stages are a little bit different. The first one's 1.5 miles.
Okay. All right.
The second one's 56 miles, and then the third stage is 11.5 miles.
I'll take the 1.5 miles.
No, you got to do all of them. That's the thing about it.
What do you mean?
2,000 competitors. I'm in the middle of Daytona International Speedway, and you can't hear a car running anywhere around. There are no cars out here, but we've got some of the top athletes in the world out here, and we've got the Daytona Challenge middle distance triathlon coming up tomorrow.
Triathlon?
Triathlon.
Is Andy Booth, has he lost his mind?
Well, it even goes further than that. We've got Stephen Phelps, NASCAR president, Charlie Leidecker, local guy here involved with the community, and then another guy, Rudy Garcia Tolson, that are teaming up in the relay. So now Steve Phelps taking the bicycle part, Steve Leidecker's a great swimmer, is taking the swimmer part, and then the guy, Rudy Garcia Tolson, is doing the running part. And oh, by the way, he lost his legs when he's 5. He's 30 years old.
Jeez.
And he's done a triathlon by himself before. It took him a little over 16 hours to do it. But that's just the caliber of what we have going on here. Just amazing athletes from all over the world coming in here to compete in this triathlon. The Challenge family is the promoter of this, and it's Challenge Daytona. And it's just amazing what's going on here at Daytona. We've got the little lake, out there, a little pond out there on the backstretch.
Yes. And folks, and Terry, if I may, folks, Lake Lloyd was created when they made the track, and they had to, of course, build the 31-degree turns in the track. Well, where do you get the dirt to build the track? So they dug the dirt from the center of the track, and that's where Lake Lloyd actually was formed during the, I guess in 1959 when the France family built the track. That's about the right time, wasn't it, Terry?
Yeah, it was. That's how, you dig a hole in Florida, it's going to fill with water sooner or later. And that's what happens. Either going to come up from the ground or it's going to rain down. But either way, a hole in Florida is going to have water in it at some point. And that's what Lake Lloyd is. It's 29 acres. That's a pretty good size.
It is a pretty good size. So you're telling me that this Challenge family, which is an international organization, the triathlon there, all of these contests, including the ones that are in the lake, are using the lake there in Lake Lloyd.
Yep, you got to swim down and back, about a mile and a half.
Any fish in Lake? Are there any fish in Lake Lloyd?
Oh, yeah. I've been out there and watched Tony Stewart reel in quite a few, having fun with a guy from Bass Pro Shops. Had a great day with a bass fisherman out there. There's one hanging in the media center, I believe, that Darrell Waltrip caught a few years back. Looks like about a 5-pound bass.
I can see it now.
So, yeah.
So here we have this, we have this interruption. I started to say crash, but we don't like crashes. But here we have this interruption in a Daytona race. And so Tony Stewart decides, well, I'm going to go fishing in the lake. and folks, just for your information, this is a little trivia here. In the 11th hour, in Tallahassee, in 1959-ish, somewhere in that vicinity, maybe it was the earlier year, but there was a challenge with getting whatever the regulations and rules were to build the track because of the ingress egress. I mean, you got a lot of people coming, a lot of people going, so you have to have the roads to supply and get traffic in and out in a safe fashion. So the legislature, for some reason, wasn't ready to pass. Well, there was one gentleman that was connected to the legislature that was a great friend of Daytona, as it turns out, and the surrounding communities, or Ormond Beach et al., but also with the France family. And that gentleman's name was Lloyd. He owned Lloyd Pontiac Cadillac, and he was responsible for the 11th hour signing of, okay, you can build this track. And there, folks, is the little tidbit of history of how Lake Lloyd was named. Isn't that cool?
It is, and that's just it. If you go around Daytona, everywhere around Daytona is the history built into what's here, whether it be Seagrave Street or Fentress, and just the names of the streets are all names that are all related with what happens here in Daytona at the Speedway or even some of the motorcycle races back in the day. It's so much fun being a part of that history and what's going on here. And this is history in the making. This is the first time ever that anything like this has been done at Daytona International Speedway. And they were talking about that last night to the guys that are the big names that have come in. And just to put that in perspective, we got names like Andy Potts. Guess what he did last weekend? He ran an Ironman.
He ran an Ironman last weekend. He's here for the triathlon?
Yes, and he's planning on winning. There's another guy, Cameron Wharf. He ran an Ironman in Australia last weekend and then flew here. And he's planning on winning.
It's just really amazing. And by the way, my good friend Andy Randolph, who is the director of Chevy architecture for Earnhardt Childress Racing, and he's quite a brilliant individual. I mean, he worked with GM. He's a world-renowned combustion specialist. I hope that you meet him one day. But they build about 700 engines a year at Earnhardt Childress, not only for their team but for racing teams. And he's an avid athlete. And I had him in the studio one day, and we were at another racetrack and on the MRN network, and he came in. I said, "How you doing this morning?" He said, "I've been up since 4. Like you ran over a mountain. I mean, these guys, they like run 20 miles or 10 miles or what have you before they have their Wheaties in the morning." I can even, when I get out of bed, I think about cars, and I'll make my way to the studio here on Saturday morning. But you have to give credit where credit's due. And I'll tell you, also, hats off to the execs and the decision makers at the Daytona International Speedway for bringing a triathlon. So, Terry, just quickly, in the short time we have left, what's going on today? I mean, how do you practice for a triathlon? Do you run?
Well, yesterday they let them go out and test in the water. Most of the athletes today, this is a down day for the guys who are going to be running tomorrow. But their families are here. There's youth activities. You got one guy said his whole family's running with him. Not with him, but running this weekend. So that his wife is running, his son is running in the I guess the 10K that's going on just rolled off on pit road. You catch that? Rolled off on pit road.
Yeah.
and there's a course inside the track. There's a new track, and it's actually the 11.5-mile half marathon is inside Daytona International Speedway. And then when you get done with that, or after the swim, you hop on your bike and you take a 56-mile ride up to Flagler County and back. So we've got guys all over the Volusia, Flagler County, all around the track. Families are here. Younger kids are here. The young ones, and I say young, teenagers, they're out there swimming in Lake Lloyd right now. They just rolled off a 10K and a 5K over on the front stretch on pit road that's going to run throughout the track. I think there's a bicycle ride, a shorter one today, a half bike ride, not the 56. But that's just it. There's whole families right here. There's over 2,000 competitors here for the 2 days. This is a major event here at Daytona National Speedway. They got a little Olympic village in the fan zone with all the sponsors and neat stuff, and it's just it's a really fun family atmosphere and a lot of people out here at the track. It's a gorgeous day too. We're hoping the weather holds for tomorrow, but I feel sorry for anybody else out there in the weather that's coming at you, but we're pushing about 70 degrees today. Going to be a little nicer, little breeze, partly cloudy. Gorgeous day to be at Daytona International Speedway.
Well, it's always. And so much, thank you so much for, sharing your vision and painting a picture for us of what's going on in Daytona. It's kind of strange, I'll tell you, to be talking with you and not hearing a noise in the background, of 800 horsepower engines, but there's a lot of horsepower, not under the hood, but on the hoofs or on the feet, as it were. Hey, got to go. Terry, always thank you so much, and congratulations. Appreciate you.
Thanks a lot, Bobby. And, hey, I'll call you Tuesday. You can hear those cars running on track.
Great.
As the IMSA guys are out there practicing.
Great. Okay, folks. Hey, thanks, Terry. Well, folks, don't go away. We'll be back. Take Frank's call and yours at 888 Car Clinic. Heated seats, backup cameras, and start-stop technology. Just a few of the electrical demands we put on today's cars. AGM or absorbent glass mat batteries are up to the challenge. They're precision engineered to offer the ultimate combination of power, durability, and reliability. Short-distance driving means your battery is not fully recharging. AGM batteries are more efficient than traditional flooded batteries when partially charged. They consume less power from the alternator. AGM, the better battery for today's vehicles. Learn more AGM advantages at autobatteries.com.
Driving has a rhythm all its own. Don't wreck it with a text. Before you get behind the wheel, silence your phone. Or better yet, designate a texter. For more text-free driving tips, visit stoptextstoprex.org. Brought to you by the Ad Council and the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration.
The months between October and February top the list for accidents, damage, and injuries. And while safety technology on today's vehicles is great, it's no match for Mother Nature. CarStar is the authority on winter driving accidents, repairing thousands of vehicles each year damaged in snowy, icy conditions. Here are a few winter driving tips courtesy of CarStar. Check visibility. Add de-icer to your windshield washer fluid. Make sure your wipers are free of ice and all mirrors are clear, and check vehicle lighting. Slow down and stay back. Drop your speed to a safe limit and leave extra distance between your vehicle and the one in front of you. And if your rear wheels skid, take your foot off the accelerator and steer in the direction you want your front wheels to go. If your front wheels skid, take your foot off the gas and shift to neutral. As you skid sideways, the vehicle will slow and traction will return. Find more safety tips at carstar.com. At CarStar, they don't just repair cars, they repair your car.
You're listening to Bobby Likis Car Clinic.
The airlines like to have sales. Summer getaway sales, holiday sales, winter sales. Truth is, at any moment, some airline somewhere is on sale with low fares to great destinations. Travelocity knows exactly what's going on, who's on sale, to where, and when, at over 700 airlines worldwide. We even have this nifty feature that lets you look at a calendar so that you can see exactly the days the great fares are available. Travelocity.com. Go virtually anywhere. AOL keyword, travel.
Hun, guess my temperature.
It's 2 a.m. Go to sleep.
Come on, one guess.
Higher, 98.
Higher.
Higher, 99.
You're getting warmer. Wait, I'm getting warmer.
Cold symptoms keeping you from getting a good night's sleep? Get NyQuil, the nighttime sniffling, sneezing, coughing, aching, stuffy head fever so you can sleep better to feel better medicine. Use as directed.
One more guess.
100?
Yes. Tell her what she's won, Bob.
And now back to Bobby Likis Car Clinic and your host, Bobby Likis.
And welcome back to today's broadcast. What a great first segment. Always fun and always informative to hear from Terry Sabiston from our WNDB Daytona affiliate there in Ormond Beach, Flagler, and Volusia County. Just exciting to me. And also, we're going to take your calls now. We're going to go to Frank, but I will share this with you. This Tuesday, which is going to be the 11th, the Daytona International Speedway will have the 2017 Rolex 24 champions, Wayne Taylor Racing, with the Orlando area driver Jordan Taylor that will be there. The AIM Vassar Sullivan Lexus, and the drivers Jack Hawksworth and Townsend Bell, and team co-owner Jimmy Vassar. Magnus Lamborghini and 5-time Rolex 24 class winner Andy Lally. WeatherTech Racing Scudera course Ferrari driver Cooper McNeil. All of those drivers will be there, and this is a great opportunity for, if they're for media. This is like, not for the public, but it's for media, and it's for the 2019 Rolex 24. It's an on-track opportunity. So I could go. I'm invited to go and drive. Well, not in the race. Well, maybe. Okay, I'll drive the go-kart. I'll drive a golf cart. That's what I do when my friends go play golf. Let's put Frank on the air and get me out of here. Frank, welcome to Bobby Likis Car Clinic, and thanks for holding.
Yeah, are you going to go to the marathon and run?
Yes, as soon as well, I've got to run out to Cantonment and back, and that's going to take me about a half hour, and then I've got a 30-mile jog, and then I'm going to ease my way to Daytona. I thought I would just walk to Daytona or run. What would you like to join me, Frank?
Not me. I will run. I bike. By the way, I watch you on channel 9.1 here in West Palm Beach.
Oh, cool.
Comes on at night. So I'll probably watch it then. I have a Mercedes 300 SE diesel,
Okay.
1995.
Yes, sir.
And I am not a mechanic, or I know something about ohm meters, and I have one, and I tried to trace this parasitic draw on the battery, and I have to disconnect the battery, the cable every night, or else in the morning I have no battery. Now, the battery on the Mercedes is on the trunk, so it's very easy, and I got the key right there. And
Yes,
I
sir.
take it off and then put it on every morning. And I opened the hood and I've traced it where the fuses are.
Right.
And I tried to do it that way, watch the YouTube videos on how to trace a parasitic draw, but I can't find it. I think I found it near the dashboard or something.
Well, I was trying, as you were speaking, I'm trying to think of two things that, number one, you need to eliminate. One, the amplifier for the sound system. In that era, and you correct me if I'm wrong, the amplifier for the radio, in other words, the radio is a head unit, and it's just like a quarter the size of a cigar box, let's say. However, the radio has a sister amplifier that is a larger box that, as I remember, is located under the dash, of course, but behind the glove compartment. And the amplifier, in those days, they had to have some more oomph, and like the boom boxes we have of today, but this is earlier. So, in other words, the radio for the Mercedes is two-part. The one part, of course, is, I think, wired directly. The amplifier is wired directly. Now, this may or may not be the issue, but it's fun to talk and to explore with you. The amplifier gets its power from the battery. The amplifier is not energized until the radio is turned on. The radio is not turned on until the key is turned on. Having said that, the amplifier in the background is always connected to the battery. So,
I never knew that.
So this may or may not be the way this particular car is wired, but I believe that this is one of those first opportunities. So here's the bottom line. What you're going to do is you're going to unplug the amplifier, and you can find that under the dash, or you can look at, you probably don't have a wire diagram, but doesn't Mercedes give a legend on the fuse boxes of what fuse goes to what circuit?
Yes, they have a fuse box
right.
in the front and also one in the trunk on the wall.
On the wall.
And I also have a Bose amplifier that I see in the trunk also.
Ah, okay. All right. So then here's what we're going to do. If you can find the fuses, and you've got your ohm meter and your voltmeter, if you can find the fuses for that amplifier, pull those fuses out.
Mm-hmm.
And that's, in fact, that's the way you should really test for, for parasitic draw, is to remove fuse and see if you still have it, remove another fuse, and yada, yada, yada. The problem here is that, okay, let's move on. Because you could talk about electronics, but here, let's do this. Unplug the amplifier and the radio. Okay. Also, the interior lights have like 3 different positions. On all the time, on when the door opens, or off all the time. They've got a 3-way, like a rocker switch, as I remember.
Yes,
so
yes,
you want to make sure that those lights, because those and also if there's a glove compartment light.
Yes.
See,
yes.
that's another little push button thing in there, and I've had I've had 3 or 4 Mercedes, so and I've modified, so I've damaged a few wires along the way, and learned a few things.
Did your battery drain at all?
Well, yeah, I've had anything you can think of, I've broken. So yeah, I've had battery drains, but so let's make sure. All right, let's just list it. No radio, no accessories. That means the radio is unplugged, and the amplifier is unplugged.
Right.
There's also, does your car have a vacuum pump in the trunk as well that's wrapped in a foam container? Or?
Yes, because I have an extra Mercedes the same year in the yard for parts, so I've been taking that apart.
Good.
All kinds of things.
All right, you want to make sure, because see, when you use your key fob on a Mercedes to unlock the door, if it's been sitting overnight, the vacuum pump in the trunk supplies vacuum to the car, which opens the doors for you, because you can't depend on a vacuum system, maintaining, even with a reservoir, maintaining vacuum overnight. So that pump is triggerable with the key off, and not even have the key in the car. So you might want to disconnect. In other words, look in the trunk and disconnect the vacuum pump, and that's easy enough to do. Because there's a wire there. I mean, it's just, it's no big deal. You're not going to trigger, it's a 95 model automobile, you're not going to trigger any computer. Now, and if it were a 2015 car, you would not want to go unplugging wires, because you throw codes and what have you. But in your 95, no worries. So disconnect that pump in the trunk, disconnect the radio, the accessories, make sure the glove compartment light is not on, and you could have, now we're going to the dark side, you could have an alternator that is draining that vehicle because of a diode or some internal internal issue, because that could also cause you some headaches.
Bobby, everything in the Mercedes 95 is in the trunk. There's so much stuff in the trunk. The Bose amplifier, the vacuum pump.
Yes, sir.
Everything's in there.
But now the fuse boxes are on the kick pad too, right?
The fuse boxes are in the trunk on the right hand side. There's a little door. But
inside the car, Frank, aren't there fuse boxes, or a fuse box on the kick pad where your feet are in front of the door?
No, they're in the They're in the hood, underneath the hood.
Okay. Underneath the driver's hood hinge. Yes. Yeah. Okay. Then for sure. So that's the best of my recollection. That's the gotchas. Those are the electronic things that are still connected to the battery, even with the key off, of the automobile. And I'm trying to think of anything else that might. Of course, there's no accessories. I mean, no chargers or anything, accessories, right?
Well, you gave me enough homework to look look at this. Believe me.
Well, you got your work cut out for you. So you have your mini triathlon, except in the automotive world.
Right. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. Thank you, my friend. Have a great weekend. Thanks for your call. So, folks, there you have it. There's an interesting gentleman, and he does watch us on our television through our partners. We're partnered with the Auto Channel. And the Auto Channel, I'll share this with you, it is the automotive source for anything automotive, and including fuels, including oils, including new cars. I mean, if you're interested in learning more about cars, you can tune in, of course, to Bobby Likis Car Clinic, 10 to 8, 10 to 8, 10 till noon, 10 till 8, I'm going backwards, 10 till noon Eastern Time every Saturday. And also you can go to the Auto Channel and search there. Mark Roush, our good friend, Bob Gordon, have been business partners for 30 years, I'm thinking. And as a little side note, I'll share this with you. Of course, we're video casting today. So this broadcast is on all of our Car Clinic affiliates across the nation, in Washington, California, and New York, and of course Daytona and Texas and Nebraska, and South Carolina, North Carolina, you name it. But we're also video casting on the internet. So if you are at watchbobbylive.com, we're there. But what's really interesting is, and so we're video casting. So that's with today's technology, and we have an agreement with Google and YouTube and yada yada. But in 1998, we were video casting because we were partnered with the Auto Channel, and Mark Roush's son, as I remember, was a guru, and he drew out on a piece of paper. Fabio, this will be interesting. He designed our video equipment on a 8.5 inch by 11 with a pencil, and it showed us how to wire it. And we came back and we wired it, and we actually created, and I built the case, and we were video casting in 1998. And so we were like country before country was cool, right? Well, hey, there's a lot going on. In addition to Daytona, folks, Wreaths Across America is a partnership with General Motors, and Joe LaMoraglia is going to be joining me. He's on the phone now, and Fabio, we'll wait till we come back from the break and put Joe on. But Joe is going to share with us some fantastic information to folks about Wreaths Across America. This will touch your heart. So we're having kind of a car heart show this morning. Don't touch that dial. We'll be back. We recently sat down with Kate Sierlik, Global Product Management Lead with Johnson Controls. Kate talked about the advantages of AGM batteries, noting they outperform traditional flooded batteries when partially charged, a key benefit if your normal driving consists of shorter trips. Let's hear from Kate.
Today's charging systems are not negatively affected by installing an AGM battery, and no modifications are needed for the alternator or the charging system. In fact, an AGM battery actually performs better when partially charged than a standard flooded battery. This means if you're not driving long enough distances to fully charge the battery, an AGM battery more efficiently performs and not consume additional power from the alternator. We were able to validate this in fleet testing we conducted in Las Vegas, where we witnessed AGM batteries providing up to twice the service life of a standard flooded battery.
AGM batteries help meet the electrical demands put on today's vehicles, and Johnson Controls is the world's largest producer of automotive AGM batteries. Learn more at autobatteries.com.
You're listening to Bobby Likis Car Clinic.
Waking up can be a chore, but mornings knocking on my front door. Know just what I'll do. Put on a pot of Folgers brew. Mountain grown aroma hits the spot. Helps me give all that I've got. An opportunity to start out smiling and happy. The best part of waking up is Folgers in your cup.
I'm privileged to be involved with Capstone Adaptive Learning, formerly known as United Cerebral Palsy, for over 25 years. Since 1953, Capstone has provided quality care programs for persons with developmental disabilities like autism, cerebral palsy, Down syndrome, and intellectual disabilities. Dr. Sherry White with her team are dedicated to Capstone's clients, and 100% of your contributions stay local to serve those in this community. Go to capstoneadaptivelearning.org to see the difference Capstone makes.
Technology moves at the speed of innovation, and today, that's lightning fast. So when you get your hands on the latest tech, don't forget to do the right thing with your old devices. Recycle them. The Consumer Technology Association and its members are making recycling your old tech device as easy as purchasing new ones. Just go to greenergadgets.org, type in your zip code, and you'll instantly find the responsible recycling location closest to your home. You'll also find lots of tips to simplify your recycling, like asking the store where you buy your new TV if they'll haul away your old one. Television sets, video game consoles, smartphones, tablets, they're all recyclable. Don't let them clog up your local landfill. Just visit greenergadgets.org. You're sharp enough to get the latest tech tools into your home. Now be responsible enough to get your old devices to the recycler. That's greenergadgets.org.
And now back to Bobby Likis Car Clinic and your host, Bobby Likis.
And welcome back to Bobby Likis Car Clinic. Folks, I'll take your car questions soon at 888 Car Clinic. But right now, I'd like to share with you an interesting partnership between Chevrolet and Wreaths Across America. In fact, Chevrolet with Wreaths Across America will transport and place up to 1.8 million wreaths at military cemeteries across the country. A fleet of Chevrolet vehicles, which includes several wrapped Suburbans, Traverses, and one military tribute Camaro, will help lead the Wreaths Across America convoy journey, departing this weekend from its main starting point to Arlington National Cemetery in Arlington, Virginia. On the hotline with us now is Joe LaMoraglia, General Motors East Communication Manager, to share details about this patriotic road trip. What a fantastic weekend. What great timing, Joe. Welcome back to Bobby Likis Car Clinic.
Thank you for having me. Always enjoy being part of it. We're really, really excited about this is our fourth year working with Wreaths Across America, and it's just such an amazing organization, and we're honored to be part of it.
And as well you should be. How did the brand get involved with this great effort to begin with, Joe?
I don't know the answer to that 100%, but I feel pretty strongly that one of our colleagues in the Northeast region was a vet, and he brought it to the attention of management, and they just said, hey, this makes sense. This aligns with our values. We want to remember, honor, and teach about our veterans, and we have a lot of veterans programs at GM, so it was just kind of a perfect match.
Well, certainly it is. The Wreath Convoy leaves Maine this weekend on a 6-day journey to Arlington National Cemetery. Talk about the convoy road trip, what will happen along the route to Arlington.
Sure. So Chevrolet, again, is very honored to be part of, traveling with them in a couple vehicles, like you mentioned, with some Suburbans, Traverses, and this military wrapped Camaro. And they travel down the East Coast. Well, it starts in Maine on their way to Arlington. They stop at dealerships and cemeteries along the way, and lay wreaths on the graves of fallen soldiers. And it's just a way, your listeners can go to wreathsacrossamerica.org and learn more about all of their values. But we've got some Gold Star parents that are going to be driving along with us. It's a very emotional event, and we're just, again, really, really honored to be part of it. And they just, anywhere they stop, at Chevy dealerships or at cemeteries, people can donate wreaths to lay on fallen soldiers' graves. And then their mission is to teach, to remember. And, we can't forget that these people gave their lives to defend our country, and we don't want to forget about them.
We don't want to forget about them, Joe, and I'm so proud to have you on Car Clinic today. Folks, Joe is the East Coast Communication manager for General Motors and sort of the leader of this initiative. And Joe, laying 1.8 million wreaths is a massive undertaking. So fill our Car Clinic listeners and viewers in on how the local dealers are assisting with this effort there on local levels across the country during your route.
Well, there's again, that's 1.8 million wreaths across the country, not just on that route. And they can go to Wreaths Across America, find a place to donate a wreath, or actually take part in the wreath ceremonies near them.
Well, share with us a little more about the specially wrapped Chevrolet vehicles leading the convoy. How many total vehicles are involved, or do you know at this time, and what will they look like?
Well, we have 6 Suburbans, 5 Chevy Traverses, and one with the aforementioned wrapped Camaro. So, our Suburbans are nobody can touch our Suburbans in terms of capability and passenger carrying capacity and comfort and level of technology. So I don't believe those are wrapped. They probably have wraps on them talking about Wreaths Across America, but you can go to Chevrolet.com and look at our the military wrapped Camaro. It's just, I think, if I remember correctly, it has a big eagle on the front. And the vehicle is in honor to our veterans, just to show that, hey, we really appreciate their efforts. We wouldn't be here without them. And hey, my dad was a vet in World War II, so it's really kind of very personal for me to be part of this.
Well, and as well it should be. And it's always great to have you on Bobby Likis Car Clinic. And folks, again, Wreaths Across America, the convoy journey, departing this weekend from its main starting point down to the Arlington National Cemetery in Arlington, Virginia. Joe, thank you again, and congratulations for your participation. I know that it's a personal honor for you to be involved. And again, we thank you. We thank your father for his service to this country. And I want to take this time to thank General Motors for their participation. And everyone tuned in right now, go to wreathsacrossamerica.com. Is that the correct website, Joe?
Actually, it's wreathsacrossamerica.org.
Got it, wreathsacrossamerica.org. Joe, thank you so much for your participation again, and for sharing the information with us and all of our Car Clinic listeners. We'll have to have you back again.
Anytime. It was a pleasure and an honor. Thank you.
And as I said, that's just so terrific to be able to bring to you folks a triathlon from Daytona and now Wreaths Across America from General Motors, and also to take a call from West Palm from one of our television viewers in West Palm. I've never been to West Palm Beach, but I've been in that area down toward South Florida. And for many of you who when you think of Florida, you think of South Florida, Miami, and such. So we actually are in the central time zone here at the center of the automotive universe. We're located in Pensacola, Florida, which is on the northwest corner of Florida. And Florida, the state of Florida, of course, that northwest corner is all sort of unto itself. And we're a little small. We're the last frontier. And I truly believe that we are the last frontier of Florida. So a lot of folks have, of course, retired to Florida for the beaches and the sun and what have you. We all have our challenges. I mean, we have like hurricanes, and gosh, that Hurricane Michael just devastated. We have a partner station in Panama City, Florida, WLTG, and have been on that station for many, many years. John and Peggy Gay owned that station, and I can tell you that area was devastated. And if you've seen any of the, the video footage from Mexico Beach, it is devastated. So our heart goes out. I've actually been through several hurricanes in my lifetime. Specifically, the worst one for me was Ivan in 2004, and that was one of our weeks that we were not broadcasting. Believe it or not, you can see why, because we had no power, and even the backup power, we had no fuel to run backup power at that time. They were military AK-40 folks, the guys and teams that roamed the streets, and it was really unbelievable. But as we speak, it's a great time of year. It's a time of year that we don't have to worry about hurricanes, that's for sure, and there's nothing that's great about that. But it's the time of year that maybe you want to give something away, and I'm going to be doing that, not this week, but next week. So let me share with you what I'm going to be giving away. And there's a group of car talk radio hosts. Some of our group, it's the experts media group, and automotive experts, and many of our hosts are automotive experts. That how do you become an automotive expert? Well, you train in the field of automotive service and repair. You walk the walk and you talk the talk, and you have to do both in order to be able to help you, and that's what qualifies me to help you on these Saturdays, because some 50 or 60 hours a week we operate a full service, bumper to bumper automotive service facility shop, and I won't go into that. We've won many awards because we have fantastic teams, but let me shift gears, because PowerTech is a great company, and the Super Chips Dash Pack Plus is the all-new performance programmer from Super Chips, and it has a 5-inch high-definition screen, an upgraded processor for quick read-write speed, and monitor the refresh rates. Several more innovative features like Wi-Fi, and this is so cool. So here's the bottom line. I'm going to give one of these away, and this is it's compatible with select, and I say select, but with some select GM, Ford, Dodge, Ram, gasoline-powered vehicles. Also compatible with 2015, 16, and 17 Ram 1500, the 5.7 liter, and the 2018 Ram 5.7 liter for the Ram 1500. So it has preloaded tunes engineered for performance and reliability and quality, and that's standard. It delivers a dynamic blend of innovation paired with safety and simplicity and assurance, and you have horsepower gains, improved MPG potential. Now, I say potential because if you have a lot of horsepower, your right foot tends to exercise that horsepower. So if you are fortunate enough to win this PowerTech that I'm going to give away next week here on Bobby Likis Car Clinic, you'll get better horsepower out of your GM or Ford or your Ram. You may even get a better MPG, but you'll have to, suppress that right foot from playing with that horsepower. So for me, who cares about the mileage? I want the horsepower, and I want to play with it. And so, but what's fun, you can have your cake and eat it too, because you can feel the horsepower, and then after a week or two, or 2 or 3 weeks of really relearning how your vehicle is running. I mean, you don't even have to pop the hood, folks. You plug this the programmer into your OBD port, and it does all the work for you. It's really way cool, and it's worth a lot of money, and I'm going to be proud to give it away. And we'll figure out how we're going to do that next week. So you be sure and do not miss next week's program. And I want to thank our friends at PowerTech, and specifically Super Chips, for sharing at this time of the holiday one of their fantastic products that I've used and I love. And as I've said before, I wish we had one, if you're listening, PowerTech, for my Jag, because I'd like to jailbreak that architecture in the Jag, so that I could, number one, I love to use my paddle shifters, and I love it when the transmission shifts with authority. That's a car thing. I don't like that sliding through the gears, and that doesn't work for me. And not that it slides through the gears, but it certainly, I like it when I do use the paddle shifters. So that's a really a neat thing. So if you drive a Jeep or a GM or a Dodge Ram or a Ford, you'll definitely want to participate. And we still have time to call 888 Car Clinic Hannah will take your call, put you in the queue. One of the things that we look at this time of year is trying to determine the right item to give your loved one. And so how about a holiday gift that's free? I can help you here, and I will. You can save money, and it shows how much you care. The Car Care Council, our partners, a nonprofit organization, created the Car Care Council Car Care Guide. It's an 80-page booklet that explains the how-tos of how to maintain your automobile and repair it in everyday language, in English and Spanish. And it's a popular car care guide. It's a thoughtful gift, and it's something that you can give to your loved ones, a stocking stuffer. And all you got to do is go to carcare.org and order one. And the guide fits it perfectly in any glove compartment. It's a valuable reference, and it's available, as I said, just by visiting carcare.org. And one of the things that you'll find in this booklet is a list of maintenance items, repairs, and as I said, as the inclement weather often strikes at this time of year, the Car Care Council also recommends a few other inexpensive stocking stuffers, and I totally agree with the Car Care, Rich White, the executive director there, when he says, what about tire pressure gauges? Hey, I've got one in my car. What about ice scrapers? I don't need one in my car, but you may. Emergency kits, always, and windshield wipers. So those are the things that are top of mind and should be top of mind. So when you have an opportunity over the weekend, perhaps this afternoon, even go to carcare.org and order you the Car Care Guide. It's absolutely, and the direct site is really carcare.org/car-care-guide. That's a direct link. But you can find your way. Just go to carcare.org and order you a Car Care Guide. It's a great booklet. I don't know what the limit, if there is a limit there. I wouldn't think there would be a limit. You couldn't order 1,000 of them, but you might could order maybe 2, 3, or 4 for other members of your family. This is the kind of a little booklet that if you have one and you give it away, you're going to say, I wish I had one for my glove compartment when I needed it. That's all the time that I have for this hour, but the good news, I've got another hour coming up with you. So take a break, and I'll see you after the top of the hour. I'm Bobby
Likis Car Clinic is a copyrighted presentation of Car Clinic Productions Incorporated and may not be reproduced or rebroadcast without the express written approval of Car Clinic Productions Incorporated.
How can you best maintain your vehicle battery? What about installation? You can find answers to these questions and more at The Battery Shop, brought to you by Johnson Controls. The Battery Shop is a YouTube channel featuring DIY battery maintenance and installation videos, technical tips, even battery science. It's your one-stop shop for car battery information. Johnson Controls is a global leader in vehicle battery manufacturing with over 50 manufacturing, recycling, and distribution centers worldwide. Find The Battery Shop on YouTube or visit autobatteries.com. HEST, or high-energy solvent technology, is what differentiates Berryman products from other additives, providing a more complete combination of available chemical technologies. But don't take our word for it. Here's another testimonial. Larry's 98 Dodge Stratus was idling rough with bad gas mileage. After considering costly fuel injector replacement, he decided to give Berryman's B12 Chem Tool a try. According to Larry, holy cow, my injectors are all firing. Learn more about Berryman products and their HEST technology at berrymanproducts.com. That's berrymanproducts.com.
You're listening to Bobby Likis Car Clinic.
If you're familiar with the Kulsiford section of the newspaper, you probably understand this message quite well. You see, in the Kulsiford section, everything gets abbreviated. Consonants, vowels, prepositional phrases, the very building blocks of our language are thrown right out the window. And that makes it difficult when you're trying to sell your car. You've got a limited amount of space to work with. And by the time you abbreviate the description of your car down to a couple of fragmented sentences, it sounds less like a car and more like a Gluck sedan with sniffed like new condition lemals. No wonder more people are selling their cars through eBay Motors. They can post unlimited text and photo descriptions, and with a nationwide marketplace, they're likely to sell it for more. Plus, both parties can be covered by eBay's vehicle protection program. Buyers are happy, sellers are happy, and no one's a berverding. eBay Motors, a better way to sell your car.
Bobby Likis Car Clinic begins at 6 minutes after the hour. Bobby Likis Car Clinic begins at 6 minutes after the hour. Bobby Likis Car Clinic begins at 6 minutes after the hour. Bobby Likis Car Clinic begins at 6 minutes after the hour. Bobby Likis Car Clinic begins at 6 minutes after the hour. Countdown to 3-minute mark. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, mark. Bobby Likis Car Clinic begins at 6 minutes after the hour. Bobby Likis Car Clinic begins at 6 minutes after the hour. Bobby Likis Car Clinic begins at 6 minutes after the hour. Count down to 1 minute mark. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, mark. Countdown to 30-second mark. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, mark. Countdown to 10-second mark. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, mark. Welcome to Bobby Likis Car Clinic. If you have a car question for Bobby, call now at 1-800-264-5454, toll free from anywhere in America. And now, here's your host, Bobby Likis.
And welcome to this hour of Bobby Likis Car Clinic. What a great program. If you're just tuning in, I want to welcome you. Hannah will take your calls at 888 Car Clinic. That's 888-227-2546. Couple of things that you need to be aware of: tire pressure, and it's like beating the same drum, but I'll continue to do that because I venture to say that maybe 70% of 60%, and I've never run the numbers, of all cars that come into our service shop have lower tire pressure. The reason is that tires don't make air, they leak air, and that's just a common problem. And also, for every 10 degrees drop in ambient temperature, you're going to lose 1 psi, 1 pound of pressure there in the tire. So check your tire pressure. If you don't have a gauge, you should have a gauge in your tire. If you don't, go by your handy-dandy service shop and get it. Bobby Likis Car Clinic is brought to you this morning in part by The Battery Shop on YouTube. Really? Yeah, really. Developed by Johnson Controls. It's really neat. The Battery Shop features DIY videos on battery installs, technical tips, and battery technology. It's a great resource for car battery information. Folks, that's the Battery Shop channel on YouTube. Your calls when I come back at 888 Car Clinic. This car repair spotlight is brought to you by O'Reilly Auto Parts. Folks, this week we had an 05 Chrysler 300 Hemi towed into the shop with a terribly noisy engine, and it just barely ran. We removed the spark plugs and used a borescope to look into the cylinders, immediately determined it had a damaged piston and cylinder head. After engine teardown, we determined a valve seat had fallen out of the head and destroyed the engine. Seems that's a common problem with older Hemi engines. We called O'Reilly Auto Parts Professional and decided on their Power Torque Reman engine with the 3-year limited warranty. Given the overall great condition of this car and the affordable cost of the O'Reilly Auto Parts Power Torque engine, it made sense to repair the car versus buying a new one. The Power Torque Hemi ran is new, and we were able to restore the car within our customer's budget. That's why our first call for parts is O'Reilly Auto Parts. O'Reilly Auto Parts. Better prices every day. We recently had an 09 Honda Pilot come into the shop with 169,000 miles on the odometer. The vehicle owner said the cabin was starting to smell like coolant, and he was concerned. Upon closer inspection, we found a heater core leak. Choices were to keep the vehicle and make a repair, which at best is half a day's labor plus parts, or sell the vehicle and buy a different used car that could have its own set of problems. We presented a third option, K-Seal. You've heard me talk about K-Seal before. Well, I don't just talk about it, we actually use the product in our service shop. It's a pour-in solution designed to stop leaks and help prevent future leaks. Other sealers use sodium silicate, which has a tendency to clog the system. K-Seal features ceramic technology that's designed to repair the leak without clogging. Our customer went with K-Seal, and 1 month later, no more leak. Learn more about K-Seal at kseal.com. Don't just seal it, K-Seal it.
You're listening to Bobby Likis Car Clinic.
Another lending success story from LendingTree.com.
Car dealers like playing games. They play percentage points, they play markups, but I don't like playing with my money. So I got my auto loan through LendingTree.com. I filled out one simple form, a marketplace of banks and lenders competed over it, and I got 4 offers back within hours. After all, the car buying game is a lot easier to win when you're holding all the cards.
LendingTree.com. When banks compete, you win. For additional information and state license disclosures, please visit our website located at LendingTree.com.
Driving has a rhythm all its own. Don't wreck it with a text. Before you get behind the wheel, silence your phone. Or better yet, designate a texter. For more text-free driving tips, visit stoptextstoprex.org. Brought to you by the Ad Council and the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration.
And now back to Bobby Likis Car Clinic and your host, Bobby Likis.
Well, let's just consider this hour as an open book. So whatever whatever page you're on in your automotive world, jot down to the second paragraph and see what that says for you, and give me a call at 888 Car Clinic and let's talk about it. That's about as open as we can get. So if you want to talk about tires, which can be boring until you need tires, I could tell you a thing or two about tires. I finally, I mean, you would think that I, of all people, would not have specific ongoing problems with tires, but I have a love-hate relationship for the tires that are on my vehicle. And I probably shouldn't mention the brand name, so I won't mention their Dunlop. So just forget I said that. But I do have a love-hate. And here's what I really dislike about the tires. I've gotten some bad ones that were out of round, and I've gotten some bad ones that and even today they're bad to take a set. So they have that flat spotting, but that goes away. But I can honestly say that now I have 4 fantastic Dunlop tires. So why, I'm on my 3rd set, why would I continue to buy the same tire? It's because when those tires are right, my car is so quiet that at 70 miles per hour it just glides down the road, and it's so enjoyable to me. And we sell tires. We offer tires in our service shop. We're not a tire shop, but so I have an opportunity to really drive almost any automobile, any make or brand, which I do, that you could think of, and any tire that you could think of. So when you drive a car and you're judging its tires, you have to make sure that you're putting the judgment in place, and by that I mean if you have a high-performance tire, it's going to be, if it's low-profile, high-performance, it's going to be aggressive. It's going to steer the car a little bit depending on the road. You're going to have more noise from that tire, just like those big trucks, the ones that are jacked up, the big F-250 diesels with knobby tires, and you can hear them coming and going a mile away. For my nickel, I'm out of there. But I guess if you have to pull a tree stump down, then maybe you need one of those monsters. They are monsters. They really are. And if you don't think they're monsters, folks, how many of you have pulled up to a traffic light and this vibration comes along, you look up to your left and you look up, and sure enough, there's a vehicle that's, I don't know, 3 feet, 3 feet maybe, higher than your vehicle. And again, every vehicle needs its specific tires. I like quiet tires, and the Dunlops have been the quietest. Now, granted, I've not tried another brand on my vehicle, but I intend to the next time, because I did get 3 out of, 1, 2, 3, 4, out of 7, 3 out of 7 of the tires that I got were out of round. And I should have known because there was a price break on them. So anytime that you get a price break on something, you know, at a tire shop or through the wholesaler or through a retailer, you need to look at the born-on date on the tire. And I did that, and sure enough, these tires that were didn't meet my expectations had the same born-on date, and so I sent one of them back because it was, you know, out of round, and the one that I received was the same born-on date, and I ordered it, you know, 3 weeks apart. So what is up with that? So the bottom line is, just know that when you buy a set of tires, you look at the born-on date, and if you're in the market, ask the tire guy to show you the born-on date. It's really easy, you know, and it's the last 4 digits. So if it's like 2617 of this alphanumeric numbers on the sidewall of the tire near the bead, and they're on the outside. It used to be on the inside. Now they're on the outside of all the tires. So if it's like 2617, that means that tire was manufactured on the 26th week of 2017. So you can determine, you know, the matching tires. So if you got one tire that's 2617 and another one that's 1218, you know, then you know where I'm going, the 12th week of 2018, and so on and so forth. So normally when you buy a set of tires, I don't know why I got on tires this morning. I guess because I'm happy this morning that I rolled to the studio on 4 round tires. Granted, cold weather, well, not so cold. You folks in New York, you know what cold is, and I'm in Florida, but we still do have some, up here in Northwest Florida, some cool weather. So yes, tires that are cold will do a little choppy ride for the first, I guess, half mile or what have you. In our repair manuals, our professional journals, specifically under my car, the diagnostic steps, and get this, folks, say that if you're handling a complaint or addressing a complaint from an owner with regard to tire vibration or vibration in the suspension, the first thing that you're supposed to do as a technician is to drive the vehicle 20 miles. Now, I'll tell you, to pay a technician to take your car out on the road and drive it 20 miles to set the stage for testing, it is a lot to ask for. And it's a lot for the technician to do, because, you know, you just drive 20 miles. So that's 35 minutes of non-productive time for that technician. But that's designed that way. I say that's designed. Those are directions from the OEMs, from the car makers, that if you're going to address the vibration issue on this vehicle, this is your first step. Go drive it 20 miles and make sure you have that tire relaxed and rounded out. So therein lies another perhaps opportunity that you could, and I've done this historically, so I know that it works. If you really truly wanted to, and you didn't have a NASCAR tire, because NASCAR tires they're all X-rayed and they're known quality tires. That's right, known quality tires. The tires that we buy on the street are not known quality. We hope they're good. The manufacturer hopes they're good. No, it doesn't matter what brand. That we all hope that we get a good set of tires. The tires that race cars and that are put on races are known quality tires. Spark plugs. And you can buy Champion, you can buy Bosch, you can buy, other Indian. I can't think of other brand names right now, but Nippon Denso, yeah, Denso. Oh, by the way, there was a Nippon Denso owned that brand, Denso, but Bosch had an issue with that, and Bosch, as the story goes, took legal action, so Nippon Denso couldn't use the Denso brand, so they came to the States way back, in the 70s with the brand Nippon Denso. Well, in those early days, if you remember what a Toyota looked like, I mean, Oh, the first Toyota. Fabio, you ever see the first Toyota? Yeah, I forget the name of it. Jonathan, look online and see what the first name of the... Folks, you can pipe in any time here, 888 Car Clinic, 888-227-2546. If you saw the first Toyota, and there's a name of it, and so Jonathan, look that up for me. The oddest looking automobile you've ever seen. I mean, it's just truly, totally un-American. That's what it was. Truly, totally un-American. Like a Peugeot. Truly, totally un-American. Of course, today, Lexus, it's truly American, and they build those things here. They build Kias, and they build a lot of cars in the United States. Although GM, well, I won't go there. We all know what's going on there. Well, we all think we know what's going on. You never know. But back to tires, and which I want to get this off my chest and share it with you because it's relevant. And if you don't think it is, you go out and drive your car this morning and you just get on a smooth road, and I guarantee you the first 10 miles, the first 15 blocks, you're at 35, 40 miles. You're going to feel this. You're going to feel a little up and down, and that will eventually go away, and you may not even notice it. Of course, if there's snow on the road or raining, then you won't know it anyway. But in the big scheme of things, what you want to do is you want to make sure that you have a round set of tires. So I have a round set of tires now. And I really, truly love the tires that I have. And as I said, I finally got them a set of tires. You close that door, would you? What is that, an airplane? Wow. So folks, I have the studio door open, and I hear this noise. And of course, this studio is located inside a metal 15,000 square foot building, and I hear this noise. What is that? What is that noise? And wow, it was an airplane going overhead. That's the first time I've ever heard that. I know you didn't hear it, but hey, when I come back, I'm going to take your calls at 888-227-2546. This Engine Care Spotlight is brought to you by Walker Products, a leading manufacturer of quality fuel system components and engine sensors. Today's vehicles are being pushed to new heights with increased fuel economy and fewer tailpipe emissions, which has created the need for a smarter and more sophisticated exhaust after-treatment system, featuring an array of sensors designed to help monitor and control the different aspects of vehicle operation and health. The EGT, or exhaust gas temperature sensor, plays a major role in multiple processes, and it's critical that the EGT is performing within their limits. But not all EGT sensors are created equal. Housing styles and materials vary, in addition to resistance types and temperature ratings. It's imperative that a consumer replace their EGT sensor with a correct OEM factory-style sensor. Walker Products has been supplying the automotive aftermarket since 1946 and manufactures all of its EGTs using only OEM-based sensors. Need a new sensor? Walker Products offers OE quality at aftermarket prices. Drive to walkerproducts.com. Berryman Products is celebrating their 100th anniversary, providing innovative products to the automotive aftermarket, like Berryman Chem Dip Carburetor Parts Cleaner that helps remove gum, varnish, fuel residue, and other harmful deposits from carburetor parts and throttle bodies without heat, aeration, or agitation. Berryman Chem Dip Carburetor Parts Cleaner is safe to use with most plastic and metal carburetor and throttle body parts, including steel and aluminum alloys. Learn more at berrymanproducts.com.
What 100-year-old automotive company makes dozens of products to extend your vehicle's life and improve its performance?
Let me see.
Which company uses high-energy solvent technology, or HESS?
It's on the tip of my tongue.
What company introduced B12 Chem Tool over 40 years ago? Still the best fuel system cleaner on the market?
Oh, don't tell me it's
Berryman Automotive Products. Correct. Berryman Automotive Products has lubricants, cleaners, solvents, hundreds of solutions, and every product all American-made since 1918. You'll find Berryman Automotive Products at AutoZone, Pep Boys, and Walmart. Now, why would you buy anything else?
You sure ask a lot of questions.
You're listening to Bobby Likis Car Clinic.
Telephone tip.
From Geico Auto Insurance. When calling Geico to switch your car insurance, you will not need acetaminophen, naproxen, indomethacin, ibuprofen, a cold compress, an on-call acupuncturist, or any other pain remedy. In 15 minutes, you could save 15% or more. If it were any more painless, you could do it in your sleep, which is theoretically possible since we offer complete 24-hour service. Call 1-800-947-AUTO, 1-800-947-AUTO. Geico Direct, the sensible alternative.
When you purchase the latest TV, tablet, or smartphone, don't forget to do the right thing with your old ones. Recycle them. The Consumer Technology Association and its members are making recycling your old devices as easy as buying new ones. Just go to greenergadgets.org, type in your zip code, and you'll instantly find the recycling location closest to your home. You'll also find recycling tips, like asking the store where you buy your new TV if they'll haul away your old one. Don't let your old tech tools clog your local landfill. Just visit greenergadgets.org.
And now back to Bobby Likis Car Clinic and your host, Bobby Likis.
And welcome back to this segment of Bobby Likis Car Clinic. So the name of the Toyota, this was in the mid-50s, or late 50s, was, I'll wait. I'll wait, and maybe you, folks, you'll know that. The point is this: when Toyota first introduced their vehicles into the United States, they were some of the strangest looking vehicles you've ever seen. We fast forward to today, and although I don't drive a Toyota product, I will tell you I recommend a Toyota for used cars, and people call me almost every day, sometimes 5, 6 times a day. What's a good car to? What's a good car to buy? What's a good car to buy? And of course, you know, it's not what's good for me. It's I want to recommend, and when you recommend like a restaurant, you better make sure you recommend the restaurant that you know is going to give good service, because just as sure as you do, and you tell them to go to, you know, like in our location, we have a brand new restaurant called The District, which is a gorgeous restaurant that a dear friend of mine had in his mind for years, and Wilmer Mitchell, and he created that restaurant. They opened it, and it's fantastic, and the reviews have been terrific. And you know, not 100%. I mean, you know, you can't make the public happy 100% of the time. But whenever I'm with friends, I say, well, what do you think? Have you heard about The District? Yeah, I've been there. Well, yeah, I'm not sure. I said, well, what are you not sure about? Well, you know, they're really busy, and it's brand new. So, yeah, I mean, it's like any machine, just like any football team. You get better, you get better, you get better, and that's the same thing with businesses until you get complacent, and that's what you don't want to get. But let's get back. I'm going to take your calls now, but let's get back to the Toyota. The Toyota vehicle, Toyota vehicles probably make the best used cars. I say probably. They do. They make the best used cars you can buy. So I'll just give that, you know, information to you right now. If you're looking for a used car to buy for a college student, or for you for that matter, whatever your use is, they're darn good cars. They can be boring. I owned a Lexus, an SC400, the most boring car I ever owned in my life. It was gorgeous. It was a 2-door sedan, brand new, drove it off the showroom floor, had square tires on it too, by the way, very aggressive square tires. It was a 1994 SC400, and it was a avocado green or a blue-green color with ivory interior, 2-door, beautiful car. The door hinges, when the doors opened, they opened out and then swung open. So the hinge was a dual axis hinge, and it would actually open the front of the door where it hinges would move out away from the body of the car, and then the door would swing open. Truly, and that was because the door was so long, because it was a 2-door coupe. 2-door post is what it was. It wasn't a coupe, it was a post. But I will tell you, the car did everything right. It just wasn't exciting. So no complaints. Let's take a call from Kansas. Ray, good morning. Welcome to Bobby Likis Car Clinic. How you doing?
Good morning, Bobby. I'm doing pretty good today. Hey, thanks for talking about Toyota, because, by the way, I still own my 1980 Toyota pickup, and I'm telling you, Toyota was the best cars and pickups I think ever was and are today here. So,
well, you know, Ray, to that end, we have one customer, and I've mentioned this before. We have one customer has 474,000 miles on his Tundra. It's an 07, and and this vehicle today it's got 407. It's got another 2,000 because he drives it a lot. But I will tell you, the engine is quieter than my car with 50,000, 60,000 miles on it, even when my car was new. and it is the quietest, smoothest idling, and to my knowledge, my recollection rather, the check engine light has only come on one time over the 475,000 miles that this vehicle has on it, and I can tell you it's that Toyota V8 engine. I think it's a 5.7. I could be mistaken there, but it's the large V8, 4 valve per cylinder, timing chain engine, not a timing belt. It is bulletproof. We started servicing that vehicle, Ray, at 6,000 miles, and we use synthetic oil in it every oil change, and we've done all the service. We put tons of rotors. It eats rotors and brakes, but I guess that's what happens when you drive a lot. But we've put rotors and brakes, and I think we put an air compressor. Yeah, we did put not an air compressor, air conditioner compressor. But anyway, but you're right. Toyotas are fantastic automobiles. They are, to me, a bit boring because I like...
All cars are really.
Yeah. I guess unless you personalize a car, I guess all cars are boring. Anyway, what do you drive?
Yep. Well, I own Toyotas. Right now, I've got the 2012 Tundra, but Toyota's been with me since I can remember. I'm a Toyota man.
Anyway,
I'm calling you today about something I've heard lately, and I'd like to get your opinion on some things. And my understanding is what I'm reading that, this may sound a little bit far-fetched for many listeners out there, but my understanding is we got people in the government today that would like to have within the next, say maybe 10 years, would like to have fully autonomous vehicles on the highway today. That's kind of like what you're kind of hearing, behind the scenes. A lot of people probably think that's way out and wacko, but I kind of think that can be a possibility. That's what the government's aiming for various reasons.
Well,
now, what do you think about, in your heart of hearts, what do you think about fully autonomous vehicles that it's going to be forced onto us? Well, what do you think about something like that? I mean, fully autonomous.
Well, I'm not for fully autonomous vehicles. I'm for self-driving vehicles. I'm not for anything being forced on us. But here's you're talking about several different issues, so let's break it down. Number one, as far as being forced on us, technology will be forced on us because we thrive on new technology, and we as human beings, whether we're in the USA or in Europe or Asia or wherever, if there's a better way to enjoy a product, I mean, I can't wait for updates on my phone. I can't wait for more apps, not more, but for apps that I like to use. I haven't walked into a bank. I can't tell you how long. I get my check every Saturday. I get my check every Friday. I focus my phone, I snap the front and back and deposit it, and then I take the check back into my office manager that just wrote it an hour before and shred the check because it automatically is deposited in my account. And for me, I can't tell you how many times, I can tell you, twice I've curbed a wheel by going through the little narrow deposit lanes in a bank. And I mean, and just by accident, but it happened. And so for me, that's a technology advancement that I love and I use every single week. And now, so if we put that into perspective of automobiles, the safety factor and the safety of the new cars that we drive today are elevated exponentially by the technology that is being developed for self-driving cars. And here's the difference between self-driving and autonomous. An autonomous vehicle, in reality, if you break it down, would mean that the vehicle can make the decision to crash and kill the driver making that decision versus running over 10 people, because it's better to lose one person than you lose 10. That's an autonomous car. Whereas a self-driving vehicle would not be autonomous. It would steer itself and stop itself and those sorts of things, and hopefully not run over 10 people. But the bottom line is we will see, and there's already a fleet of self-driving cars in Las Vegas.
Right.
So, and the city, I mean, in Manhattan, there are already cars that are driverless. So we will see that. Now, they won't be forced on us. Nothing will be forced on us that we don't buy. I mean, except taxes and death.
That's true.
But, you know, I mean, that's a fact of the free world, which we do live in. So I would say to you that my take is I'm all for new technology. I literally thrive on it. And to that end, just this week, and for folks, anybody out there that has an issue with your iPhone not being recognized by your iTunes, I have the fix for that. And if you just search online, and you have to be careful searching online because you can find anything and you can assume that what you find is true. But with regard to a specific problem, in other words, we recently put an engine in a Hemi, an 05 Hemi Chrysler 300. Why? It only had 77,000 miles. Why? Because when Chrysler designed the engine, they didn't make the valve seat correctly press into the aluminum head, and the seat is steel and the head's aluminum, so the seat falls out and destroys the engine. And that happened to a dear friend of mine. And we put a reman engine in the vehicle. It runs great, you know, no problems. But she didn't do it. It was nothing that she did or did not do. The engine had a self-destruct mode because of the design at Chrysler. So if you really look at it, you say, well, maybe Chrysler should have been responsible for that engine. Yeah, maybe. But the bottom line is, it's a piece of equipment. It's used, and it has hot and cold expansion, and so it's just part of, like our bodies. You know, no, we're responsible for our own bodies. So the bottom line is, Ray, I'm all for self-driving cars because I'm all for new technology because it makes our lives more convenient. Understanding there's always negatives, so it's not the new technology, it's how we use and decide to use the new technology. I'd like to hear your input. I do have a hard break coming up, so I only have about a few seconds here, but I'd like to hear your input as to what you feel about it with regard to the safety aspects, but make no mistake about it. I mean, I've had people call me and say, Bobby, you know, I want you to we send out reminders for service. And whenever one of our customers gets a reminder and they've sold that car, they'll call us and say, hey, I sold the car. And I'll tell you the rest of that story when I come back from a person who bought a new car because it was more safe. Talking tunes? No, not the ones on your radio, the ones that allow you to reprogram your vehicle's factory computer without even popping the hood. The result is more power, more torque, and a better overall driving experience. We recently sat down with Jim McGinn, Vice President of Marketing for PowerTech. Jim touched on some of the additional products Diablo Sport has to offer.
In addition to the Diablo Sport lineup of tuners, Diablo Sport also offers Jammer cold air intake systems and Hooker Blackheart exhaust kits. These kits work in concert with the Predator 2, Intune i3, and Trinity 2 programmers to deliver increased fuel economy, mileage, and overall performance for your gas truck or SUV.
Folks, Diablo Sports performance products make the perfect holiday gift, and now is a perfect time to buy with their holidays savings. How cool is that? You get up to 20% off SRP on their extensive lineup of premium performance products. Learn more at DiabloSport.com. That's DiabloSport.com.
You're listening to Bobby Likis Car Clinic.
More than 1 million wild animals are killed each year illegally. Poaching is a major threat to our country's wildlife. I'm Tom Barry. I'm an actor with a desire to preserve living space for wildlife. The Humane Society Wildlife Land Trust does just that. Works with private landowners to protect wildlife, to preserve natural habitats. To learn more or to work with the Humane Society Wildlife Land Trust, call 800-729-SAVE. That's 800-729-SAVE, or visit wildlifelandtrust.org. Thank you.
Did you know 26 million Americans have kidney disease and most don't know it?
The day I was diagnosed, I didn't know what to do. I called the National Kidney Foundation, and the young lady who answered stayed on the phone with me and walked me through step by step. She too was surviving kidney disease, and she showed me there could be life after kidney disease.
Visit the National Kidney Foundation at kidney.org. Now you know.
We're a land of cynics. We don't believe anything anymore. You know why? Because we've been told we've won $1 million, that it's new and improved, that it slices and dices, that our favorite singer is still alive, that we'll be prosecuted if we cut off the tags, and of course that everything is backed with a 100% money-back guarantee. So when we hear the words customer service, we don't believe it. Travelocity isn't surprised if you're a little skeptical when they say they have excellent customer service, and that there's actually a pleasant face behind this website, a living, breathing person with a supercharged computer full of answers. Someone who's willing to help when you get lost, and most of all, someone that will actually pick up the phone when you call with a question or a concern. Customer service is just another example of how Travelocity puts you in control of travel. Chances are you'll never have to use it, but it's good to know it'll be there if you need it. Travelocity.com. Go virtually anywhere.
And now back to Bobby Likis Car Clinic and your host, Bobby Likis.
And thank you for tuning in to Bobby Likis Car Clinic this morning, brought to you by our partners, the Car Care Council. Folks, if you're traveling this holiday season, remember to follow the 3 P's of car care. They are prepare, prevent, and plan. You can plan to save money and avoid breakdowns. You can learn more at carcare.org. And don't forget to go to carcare.org and download your Car Care Guide. That's a great stocking stuffer, and it's free, and it's something that everybody that drives needs, including yours truly, carcare.org. So we're talking with Ray in Kansas about self-driving vehicles, or autonomous vehicles, as he said. So Ray, I want to turn the mic to you. And folks, I'll invite you to participate at 888-227-2546. So Ray, what's your take and where you're going with this?
Well, Bobby, first of all, I want to thank you for letting me talk about my side of this, and I do agree with what you're saying about the difference between fully autonomous and the new technology of just self-drive, or just cars that you can drive, like adaptive cruise control and stuff. What they're saying is it's the driver is still in charge. I agree with what you're saying on that, and that's fine. I like that. But you're right on these fully autonomous vehicles. I think no, it should never happen in the future in our lifetimes. That's my opinion on that. And I would like to say that from what I'm understanding and what I've read, and I think the people out there in this country who listen to this program, that they are going to agree with me if they think about it. The reason this is coming about, in my opinion and other opinion, is our insurance companies today, as the past insurance companies are pushing this because they believe that they believe in their heart of their hearts that the soul, that the reason why these autonomous cars are supposed to come about is because they really think that they're going to save money from safety. And I disagree. That will not happen because we have seen people dying out there because it's a few instances, but it's only a few instances because there is not that many out there today. There are people that died, and there will people that will die if this happens. Because think about it, for instance. I mean, you hear this even today. This adaptive cruise control, for instance. They've got that out here in our cars today. And think about it. If you've got your car on adaptive cruise, and I've talked to people who've had this already happen to them, a car pulls in front of you, guess what's going to happen? That adaptive cruise is going to break that car, and I mean it's going to slow it down almost to a stop, and things like that. That's not safe. That's not safety. That's danger. But think about it, just like that. The person in that one state, or Nevada, they got run over and killed out there. There's a few others. I think in California, someone got killed. all that stuff should tell everybody out there this technology, this automate complete automation is we don't need, we don't want it, you know. And but what you said, I agree with you to the extent that technology, we need technology, but as long as it's in our own hands, not in some darn computer in some Jetson show. Like, that's what I'm getting at. I just when I read this article about U.S. government and our politicians are in a kind of what you call a scene where you don't read it in our newspapers hardly. You don't hear it on our national TV. They don't tell us what's coming about. But I think, in my mind, that's what they're looking for the future. It may not be in 10 years or 20 years, but in 50 years, that's what they want. They want fully autonomous vehicles. That would take safety and everything out of what we know. It's like the day when it was horse and buggy to like flying cars. You know, it's crazy if you think about it. I know I'm going on and on about this, but I'm just totally against it, and I hope the country's against it. And I'll turn the mic back to you. That's my feeling.
Well, hey, I you are absolutely entitled to your opinion, Ray, and you can voice that anytime. You know, I'm not a political show here. I have my own, and I'll stay away from politics and religion as well as I can. But as you said, as I said, I do love technology, and I want to just I thank you. I thank you for your input, and you're welcome to call me anytime, any show. I will finish my story. So a customer called to me and said, "Bobby, take my old car out of your records," because we were still sending him reminders, and he didn't have the car any longer. He said, "I bought a new, I think it was a Honda, as I remember. This has been a couple of years ago." And I said, "Well, how do you like it?" And because I was curious, and he's a longtime customer, and now he's got a new car, so is he going to come to me for service? Well, you know, probably not until the car gets age on it. But I assured him that I could perform the maintenance on his new Honda that the dealer required to maintain the factory warranty, because we're qualified to do that and we're authorized to do that. Now, having said that, not warranty work, but maintenance work. So I said, "But how do you like the car?" He said, "The car makes me a better driver." And it was like a revelation. He said it has lane warning. So if I move over in the wrong lane, or if I'm about to, you know, we've all cut off a car, like you just said, somebody driver, it has a lane warning. It has other start-stop features and some other things and I forget what all that he chose to share with me, but it was a most positive conversation from a gentleman that was, I don't know, I'll put his age at 50, you know, maybe he's older, maybe he's 60, but the bottom line, he traded his old car that had a lot of miles on it for a new car that had safety features that his old car didn't. And here's the point. He liked it so well, he went back and bought his wife another new car. He bought 2 new cars within a month's time because he was so impressed. And he told me in his own words, "This new car makes me a safer driver." And I'll tell you, Ray, I did have the opportunity, thanks to a good friend of mine who is a rocket scientist, to drive the Moon rover, the new lunar Moon rover at Johnson Space Center in Houston, Texas. I drove that vehicle, and it's fully electric, and it had a joystick that, you know, it crabbed. It had 6 axles, and it would go left or right, or you could make it crab. You could aim it to the left and go straight down the road. It was really, and you drove it on a screen, and it was like a big bubble, you know, and what have you. But I really enjoyed just the technology, and it was kind of like I don't know what it was like, except to say that it was like steering a helicopter, as I would imagine, never steered one, on wheels. Anyway, got to go. Ray, thank you so much from Kansas. And don't forget, by the way, I know you drive a Toyota, but don't forget, next week I'm going to be giving away a Super Chip Dash Pack Plus. So for everyone tuned in now, this is if you drive a GM, a Ford, a Dodge, or Ram gasoline-powered vehicle, then you want to tune in, because I want one of our Car Clinic listeners to win this prize. Ray, thank you so much for your call and for your input.
Well, thank you, Bobby. You really do a lot for everybody out there, and I enjoy listening to you because you put it out there like it is, and we all need that. And I agree with you on certain things, and I hope you all agree with what I have to
Thank
say.
you.
But,
Appreciate you.
Thank you.
You're welcome, sir. So let's go from Kansas now to California and talk with Chuck. Chuck, good morning. Welcome to Bobby Likis Car Clinic.
Good morning, Bobby. I think I have the answer for your Toyota question of the model.
Oh, all right.
Is it the Crown?
Well, that's part of it. That is part of it. Yes. I've since asked Jonathan to look that up. It's the strangest name in the world. It kind of reminds you of an animal. So Crown is part of it, but there's another part too that I'm looking for. Can you think of it?
No, but I remember I know somebody that used to drive one of those, and it was the strangest looking car I've ever seen.
I know. I will tell you, many years ago, when I was, before I was old enough to drive, but drove anyway, my father worked for a Renault dealership. We call them Renault, but they're Renault, they're French.
My father owned one, a Dauphine.
This was a Dauphine, and it was a brand new Dauphine, and I never had so much fun in my life. It was the oddest looking car, but it was so neat, and the reason I'll never forget it is that I was speed shifting. I shouldn't have been driving the car anyway because I didn't have a license. I was speed shifting this car and got the shift rail hung up in gear, and I panicked. I said, what's my father going to do? Well, he didn't do anything, but anyway, I crawled under that vehicle, and not knowing anything about anything, really, I fixed it. I got the two rails dislodged, and I was never so proud of myself. And of course that just gave me the little drive to say, well, hey, maybe I can make a good technician one day. So I went to school, and sure enough. But Chuck, the name is Crown, but the other name is Toyo Pet.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
And so here we are. We're going to bring the car into the States, and it's the Toyota, and so someone had to say Toyo Pet, and let's fast forward. Kia created the K900, and I know, and it's a great car. And I interviewed Michael Sprague, who is the national marketing director for Kia, and I said, I'd like to have one of these, and he said, okay, I'll send you one. So he sent me one. They actually drove the vehicle. They have a company that delivers cars to people, media, and it's a celebrity. I'm not a celebrity, but a media. So they drove K900 from Miami to Pensacola, Florida, which is from one part of the state all the way up to the other part. And I kept that car for a week. And here was the bottom line. The K900 was called a K9, and they already named the car. This is according to information that I have, and I always stand to be corrected, but the backside, it was called a K9. And so by the time they got through all of the catalogs and the books and the logos and what have you, somebody said, hey folks, at Kia, a K9 is a dog, and so somebody at Kia had oops, and they said, okay, 900, and they added the zeros to make it a K900.
Wow.
And it's kind of a wild story there. And what is really was wild for me was when I first thought of a Kia, I said, well, the audacity of Kia to make a $60,000 Kia. Who's going to go into a Kia new car lot, and buy a $60,000 car? And the only option was a $6,000 package that included everything that you'd want, reclining seats and what have you. But I will tell you this. If I could flip a switch at this moment and remove the electronics from my 2013 Jag, which I love, and Ian Callum was selected by his peers, both domestic and foreign, as Designer of the Year for 2012. And my car's drop dead gorgeous, but if I could flip a switch, I would take Kia electronics for the center stack, which means navigation and phone interface and all that, and also that radar control cruise, and I would put the Kia electronics in my car. That's how impressed I was, and I did a video on it and gave it to Kia. I don't know if they ever did anything with it, but you can go online and look, Bobby Likis, Kia K900, and you'll see the video. And it was really an exciting vehicle, and I actually drove that car from my hometown over to New Orleans, the other side of New Orleans, to see some of the old slave, the old farms, and it was really it was a great trip in the car, but it wasn't a fun thing to see the days of the slaves and back in the days of Louisiana. But we drove that car over there, and I'll never forget. And I'll just tell this quick story, Chuck, that I hope I'm not boring anyone. It had that radar cruise control, and on the way back, I came to one of the worst intersections here in Pensacola, where Highway 29 intersects with I-10 going east-west, and 29's going north-south. And a torrential rain came up, and there are like 5 lanes merging at once. Reminds me of California, which I'm glad I don't live there. I love California, but I'm glad I don't live there from a traffic standpoint. And the rain was so torrential that I couldn't see. I just took my foot off the gas, foot off the brake, and let the car follow the car in front of me that I couldn't see. And for the next 20 seconds, which felt like 20 minutes, the car safely guided me along at a safe distance behind the car in front of me. So there's the technology that that Ray and I were just talking with in Kansas. Hey, thanks for your call, and make sure you tune in next week when I'm giving away the Dash Pack Plus compliments of Super Chips and our partners there as well from PowerTech. Thank you, Chuck.
Okay, take it easy.
You as well. And folks, if you're going to get another battery, just know that an AGM is a better battery. It's up to 2 times longer life than a standard flooded battery. And this information is from our partners at Johnson Controls. You should know this because electronics and cars are synonymous, and everything, no pun intended, starts at the battery. So the basic design of the AGM battery means that it's compressed, it's more solid, it lasts longer, it handles high electric loads, it quickly recharges and extends the cycle of a lifetime. So next time you buy a battery, get an AGM. You can go to autobatteries.com. Go there and check it out. I'll see you next week. Like us, you'll love us.
This is Bobby Likis Car Clinic. Bobby Likis Car Clinic is a copyrighted presentation of Car Clinic Productions Incorporated and may not be reproduced or rebroadcast without the express written approval of Car Clinic Productions Incorporated.
When your battery goes dead, everything can come to a stop. Don't take a chance on getting stranded. Stop by O'Reilly Auto Parts and get your battery tested free of charge. If your battery does need to be replaced, O'Reilly Auto Parts can help you find the exact Superstart battery that fits your car or truck at a guaranteed low price. O'Reilly Auto Parts. Better parts, better prices every day.
O'Reilly Auto Parts.
Motorrad, a longtime OE supplier, is the leader in automotive thermostats and fuel and oil coolant caps. Motorrad's state-of-the-art quality control and functional testing systems ensure high-quality, long-lasting products. Motorrad delivers world-class product development, providing all the parts and accessories needed to do the job right the first time, every time. Motorrad offers the best coverage of thermostats and closure caps in the world for virtually any vehicle and engine on or off the road. Motorrad, leading the way in coverage and service.
You're listening to Bobby Likis Car Clinic.
Rosie Outfitters, I'm Tina. How can I help you?
I'd like to place an order.
Great. Which item?
The cotton roll neck sweater, large.
Okay. Periwinkle, Loden, or caramel?
The caramel, please.
The what?
I'd like it in caramel.
Oh, the caramel?
Yeah, that's what I said, Tina.
Actually, you said caramel when it's pronounced caramel.
Can't we just call it yellow?
No.
Everyone knows the best part of a Milky Way. They just don't know how to say it. After all, it's our caramel.
It's caramel.
Ugh, that makes a Milky Way great.
You start my morning, you stir in my soul. You warm my heart, make me feel whole. Your aroma calls me, it starts my morning. Happy morning, your name is